The Buccaneers find themselves in very familiar territory, the semi-finals of the MTN 8. And the English football season looks to return just as it finished with an Manchester derby. This is ONSIDE ZA, brought to you by Betway. Get way more. Joining me on the show today, Mr. Len Moleko.
Yes, sir.
Tsepi Worldwide.
Hey, darling.
Welcome, darling. And also joining us is everybody's favorite super sub,
Angu.
Thank you for joining us as always, ballers. Remember, if you are joining as a new user on the Betway app, use the affiliate code ONSIDE8. It really helps us out a lot. I started off my intro talking about the Buccaneers through to the semi-final of the MTN 8. Super Sub, you were there.
Yes, I witnessed it.
We didn't even get an invite.
A couple things about the game itself against SuperSport United. Gavin Hunt, typically a shrewd operator, had the team set up really well.
Yeah.
But chances flowed for both teams. Both teams looked rusty on the finishing, I'd say.
You could tell that it's a first game of the season.
Game of the season.
That's why Peter Msimane hated that the competition starts. I mean, the league starts with the competition, you know. Those are the results of starting the league with the competition. They were rusty, you could see, you know. And I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it really could have.
Yeah.
I mean, it went to extra time, which killed my bet slip, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
With Pirates, it's win or draw.
Win or draw.
Yeah.
Lemoleko, your thoughts on the game? I think SuperSport United defended well, like we're set up well, let's put it that way. We're set up well to deal with Pirates, and then the creativity that Pirates had on display was impressive. And I think that bodes well for them looking forward in the season, being able to break down a shrewd defensive line.
Yeah, look, for Hunt to go to Orlando and put up the performance that he did, and I know it's something that Orlando Pirates were actually very wary of, in that I think the last game they played against SuperSport United was a 1-1. And SuperSport United are one of those teams that are a potential banana slip at any given time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And in them being a banana slip, you look at the business that they did during the transfer window, and potentially not even done with that. And you could see, as rusty as they looked, SuperSport United are going to be a team to be reckoned with this season.
I agree with that. And if you look at that team, he had like 5 new starters in that team. You know, like the likes of Pool obviously is coming from Orlando Pirates, and you can tell that, you know what, those guys are gonna be a team to reckon with, because they really played well. You know, and I'll be honest, I think Orlando Pirates were lucky in that game. You know, to get away with the win. You know, and for SuperSport, I think you know, there's other elements that we can bring into the game of the officiating, you know, that a lot of people are not happy with. And I think it's a point that we have to discuss, you know.
Look, let me align my point properly. You can speak now, because my point was all over the place.
Before we get carried away, I just want to say that it was a good balance, or, you know, the personnel that Gavin Hunt had on the field. You know, you've mentioned that he had 5 new people onto the pitch, but also it was so pleasant to see the likes of Brad Grobler, who still, for some reason, at his advanced age, is still one of the top goal scorers, still there and plying his trade and doing what he does best. He did pose a huge threat to Orlando Pirates. It was also nice to see, I think Hlajwayo was also playing.
Yeah,
you know, people
captain.
that have been, there we go. You know, people that have been with SuperSport United for so long. And it just shows also just how, you know, SuperSport or Gavin really is a person that if you are a hardworking individual, you will have so much longevity, you know, within the squad.
He definitely trusts them as well.
I agree. So that was also nice to see. We will obviously talk about the controversy, or lack of a better word, when it comes to the officiating. But to be honest with you, it was going to be anyone's game.
Definitely agree with that, Tippy.
Are we going to sing the same chorus when it comes to officiating in this country?
It's exhausting. And I'm going to say it's exhausting because you would remember that before the end of last season, sorry, Super Sub, there was a statement that came out, and I believe it was from the Association of the Officiators or the referees, to say that they are going to be going on some boot camp. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Didn't they have
in,
one
in
a couple
order,
of weeks
that's what I'm
They
saying.
always
That was
have
what's meant to happen,
this.
right? So for this
this.
to happen so early in the season, the very first match, to be precise, is disheartening. Super Sub.
So here's my take on the whole thing is that to answer Land first, we're going to have to talk about it until change happens. We are the mouthpiece of other people out there. And then these things, we have to talk about it until change happens.
What change?
Change that that we need in football. Technology is there to assist. We can utilize technology. We saw how technology came through for us in AFCON. We saw how impressive it was. So it's something that, in as much as there are other issues with technology, but we can't not implement technology by thinking that it's not going to work because other places, they're not interpreting it right. So I'm saying that, yes, we have to keep talking about these things. And my issue is that as football fans, we need to distinct between banter and real issues that we have in football. Because I feel like bad officiating is now sort of like made to be synonymous with one team. There's a beneficiary, and that's not right.
Even me, I benefit.
We need to be consistent so that even if my team, I feel like it has benefited unduly, it's something that we need to voice out, for the betterment of our game, in my view.
Can I say this? Referee Abongile Tom is the only South African selected to officiate at the 2023 African Nations Cup, the Chan finals in Algeria. The 31-year-old Abongile Tom's career has been on an upward trajectory. So for a person that is held in such high regard to be making the errors that he made, what do we say about this? Look, we can talk about, obviously the organization that's responsible for referees, but what do we say to the man who was?
Let's play the ball first before we get to the man. You spoke about technology, Super Sub.
Yeah.
That technology is expensive.
We've got 900 million, bro.
Wait. You don't just spend it all at once.
I'm just saying.
Wait. Let me finish. The chairman came out last week and said he was asked about VAR. He explained that for VAR to be implemented, one, the same referees that we are blasting week in, week out have to be trained.
Yeah.
And it's not SAFA's, it's not the PSL's job to do that.
It's SAFA's responsibility.
It's SAFA's job, number one. Number two, the technology to be able to run VAR, there were conversations that were had with multi-choice. Now, with things having gone the way they've gone, the people in Randburg have decided, we're only just going to concentrate on broadcasting matches. Everything else, we're not going to be involved.
It has to wait until after the Canal Plus, whatever deal.
Right? So, what do we do? And
PSL can't do anything right now.
Unfortunately, we are where we
Hands
are.
are tied.
Hence, I say we are going to keep singing the same chorus. If this coming weekend, a team from Klorkop or Skukune or Cape Town also gets robbed by a referee, are we going to come back to the show next week and say the same thing?
Let's get into the comments quickly.
Thank you.
Transparent saying we're behind. Where's goal line technology?
It's another issue.
That's one of the contentious points because that's normally a stadium cost or stadium expense, and that means all of the stadiums that qualify for these competitions must be fitted out with goal line technology. It'll become a regulation that every stadium will need this kitted out. So that would be a cost issue, I believe. Then Sponello Mkunu saying Pirates had a 12th man on the pitch. Unfortunately, Hunt's kids didn't stand a chance. Before we get back to officiating, Super Sub, electric atmosphere, hey?
It was electric. There's something about, and I know people have been deprived football for a while now, and obviously when there's a game of this magnitude, people are gonna go out in their numbers. But I have been in Orlando for the first game of the season. I've never seen anything like this. I'm saying this because that stadium, Marco, was buzzing. The atmosphere from when you park outside getting into the stadium, there is some level of positivity within the Orlando Pirates fans. It's almost looked like they believe so much that this is their season.
How does it feel being an Orlando Pirates supporter, being at the stadium, seeing the poor officiating, and possibly leaving the stadium knowing that you had an unfair advantage? What do you do? How do you feel?
That's what I'm saying, that in as much as I'm a Pirates fan, I also don't want to enjoy the win, knowing that it's marred with controversy. You want to leave the stadium knowing that my team has done well and they've won fair and square. But unfortunately, Abongile Tom is a human being. He's going to make those errors. And the reason why we've got technology is to try and alleviate those errors, and it makes the game better. We've seen it in AFCON. I'm making that example again. We've seen it in AFCON. It was interpreted beautifully.
Guys, is there something else that we're missing here? And is it really an error? Is it always an error?
Well, I'll come back to the comments here quickly for that. Amos Fani saying, up the Bucks, they're not the first team to benefit from Mr. Referee. Sponilo Mkunu again saying Abungile is a top official, but it seems like he has an uncomfortable soft spot for a certain team. He was also terrible in last year's MTN 8 final,
Yes.
he says.
Against Sundowns. It was a 3-1 win. Yep.
And I think the one thing...
Yes. So he officiated during the MTN 8 final, Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. Orlando Pirates won 3-1 in penalty shootout.
Oh, in penalties, because
Yes.
I know the game ended as a draw.
Yes.
And I think that this won't be the first place that an atmosphere has impacted a referee's decision-making. We find home teams have benefited almost everywhere in the world in the past from a refereeing decision or two, so that massive atmosphere could have had an impact as well. And then there's one comment that I'm picking out here that I think
But
is
are we not
big.
expecting him? The reason he's chosen for these big matches is because, I've just mentioned how he was able to officiate big matches continentally. So expecting him to sort of have some type of composure to make decisions that are objective, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you
happens.
You
This
can't
thing-
say that he shouldn't have been positioned for
He's
that
a good
game or
ref. For him
anything.
to be where he is a good ref. And also the selection panel for AFCON, it's different. It's people that don't even know him. It's
And
people
it's
that have
stringent.
seen how he officiated in order for them to pick him.
Okay, let me paint a picture or two pictures. The first one is according to, and I think this was when the technology was introduced, because somebody asked about goal line technology earlier on. About, I'd say 5, 6, 7 years ago, the numbers could be off. The cost to install GLT
Goal line
per
technology.
stadium, yes, per stadium was around 4.5 million South African rands.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big cost for that.
And you still need roughly about 3,800 in US. I just don't know what the conversion would be. Multiplied by 1850 there. And then you'll give me
How
a
much
rough
is it?
estimate.
3,000 what?
3,600 multiplied by 18.48.
Continue.
How much is that?
Sorry now. It's 194,800.
Per game.
Okay.
So there's the 4 million of the installation cost
Plus the license fee per
So
game.
are you saying
minus the license. So there's the installation, there's licensing.
It's
and
very expensive. Goal line technology is very expensive.
nobody is the cost here is we're not saying it's cheap, but I was saying that because it's expensive, we cannot have it.
I think this
think we
takes
need
us
to-
to
Otherwise,
the
Henry
comments.
Ford wouldn't have made Ford if that was the
I
mentality.
agree, but I think given the circumstances, we know where the point of contention here is the officiating, and just because we hypothetically we have this money, to install these this goal line technology, it does not then just automatically fix that we still have an issue with officiating. So my thing is this: as much as ideally would like to have this technology, but we still need to be fixing this elephant.
Yeah, but remember, Tsepi, there are certain instances where a referee has made an error and the technology comes into play. Right now, we don't even have that.
I agree, but sometimes it's the other way around because you've seen where the technology would come and say this is what the decision is, but they would overturn it. So
But the technology can always overturn where the referee makes a mistake.
I agree,
We
but
don't have that.
I agree, my friend. But remember that at the end of the day, who is more correct? The referee will still have the final say in what happens. Correct?
Fair point, but also it's down to, again,
So it's the officiating.
in assisting
Not
super
necessarily. What I'm, Tepi, we have. They will always. This is the reality. There's always going to be human error, even in interpreting. But we are just saying that if there are other things to help us get rid of those, or sort of like help us in dealing with those human errors, why can't we look in that direction?
I agree, but we are not able to. We don't have the capacity. So what do? We need to focus on what we can change, and that's the officiating or improve.
Right.
So
So
in terms of train refs.
That's it.
But
We don't
again,
have the money.
You can train the refs, but if
You want to tell me that
if-
Abongile Tom is not trained enough?
wait, super sub, if then you and her, because rules are, it's almost like in rugby. Rugby rules and the change of them all the time leave so much gray area that one referee will interpret it differently from another one.
I think that I'm going to say this now because I've spoken to somebody who I won't mention who's involved in the training and regulation of referees that overlooks decisions that go on a weekend. And his position on this, as important as his job is within SAFA, he's one of the lead technical trainers and evaluators of refereeing in South Africa. Lead. Part-time job. There's not enough funding going into refereeing in South Africa. Transparent in the comments again says refs are hungry, they collect. Now, I'm not going
Hey,
to
man, in the lower
I'm not
leagues.
going to necessarily agree,
But
it's a possibility. And the way that you stop that from happening is that referees need to be paid adequately. And also, is there a single full-time referee in South African football?
No, they're all part-time.
They're all part-time
They were-
in South African football.
What was Ian McLeod? Was he a teacher or a cop?
Almost all of them are
can't remember.
teachers and cops.
Yeah,
That's it.
But Marco, I feel like we're making excuses for the powers that be. There's enough money in this country.
That's
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
just channeled
That's-
in the right places.
So this is what I'm saying. We
don't
were
even
making
get me started with
excuses-
the legacy fund.
So we were making excuses for the technology, and I think there's an element of that with the technology. That is very expensive, but there is enough money to pay referees adequately, to have referees full-time on the books, have technical refereeing departments and training divisions full-time on the books, so that they can be committed to the sport that they're invigilating.
So let me two things I wanted to mention. I just want to start with the closer one of the legacy fund. For the past couple of years, SAFA's financials, did they record any profits?
I don't know.
They're not balancing.
All right. So clearly, the people who are in charge of referees themselves.
Oh, they have a
money-
new CFO. You saw? They announced a new CFO. Isafa. He was an ex-CEO. Yes. I'll tell you now.
Okay. Money's too tough to mention that side. Or it's too hard. How does the song go? Is it tough or hard?
Money's too tight to mention.
Or tight. Yes, there we go. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, which is what I'm not aware of. I just know they do it in the UK. Or in the Premier League, rather. As a referee, all right? And as referees, before the season starts and you are appointed, whatever, questionnaires or you get asked in an interview, which team in this league do you affiliate with, or do you have some level of support with, etc., etc., etc. If Michael Oliver grew up supporting Arsenal and is an Arsenal supporter, he will highly, there's almost a snowflake's chance in hell that he will officiate an Arsenal match. I just don't know if that is done in this country.
Well, there's not enough funding to make sure that the referees are. You're a fan of Blackpool, and you can be a full-time referee and you can get paid, and in that way you officiate all the Premier League games without an issue because Blackpool's not there. And I think that's pretty common in refereeing to disclose who you support. But if there's not enough referees on the books, Not enough full-time referees on the books. How do you determine that? One of the comments in here, I forgot who it was.
Yes, but the new
again.
CFO is Advocate Tebogo Motlanthe. He will be occupying the executive officer. Yes, he resigned a year ago, but now he's CFO. Yes.
Okay, so the new CEO from last year at SAFA is Lydia Monyepao.
Yes.
Who's a former Banyana player, played basketball for South Africa as well. This is a woman who's passionate about sport and has degrees in accounting, etc. She's not been there very long. But my thoughts immediately go to, how do we not have more former players involved in the setup at SAFA? And I think that... I don't know. I talk about Danny Jordan too much on the show already. So
whatever happened to Lucas?
He's there.
There's no elections yet. We have to wait for elections.
When do they take place?
2 years, 3 years from now, something like that.
3 years from now, because the last ones were in 2022.
Yeah.
So there's time.
Austria couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about former footballers and being involved in our sport.
And perhaps there should be some forceful legislation as to who votes in those elections.
You see, that is a bit tricky.
It's all political.
Yes.
They've taken a political frame to football. You understand? So you need to be nominated by the branches.
You need
and
to
all
rally.
Of that.
But is that not how, like, it's a trickle down of that's how FIFA works. You need to be dominated by the FAs and, the associations or
The regional associations.
the confederations, let me put it that way.
And I think that's when brown envelopes play a big part.
Yeah, and
That's it.
FIFA
That's
is
just
a
the-
FIFA is a brown
example.
envelope.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's how elections work, and unfortunately, that's how the election of a SAFA president also works. It's
Do you
the
think-
regions around vote. So if you grease enough hands, you're gonna slide right in there.
Do you think the envelopes at
CONCACAF.
FIFA have a logo and they're embossed? They must be really nice envelopes. Those ones. Okay, so there was another fixture as we move on from this. But yes, just a closing thought on that. Something must be done, and it would be great to see more former players who achieved great things in football, although it didn't work out so great in Cameroon, but we'll skid right over that.
No, darling. Oh, no, honey. But also, what makes you think that just because a person's an ex-footballer, they have the capacity
I think it helps with building. It's football.
Okay.
If you have a better understanding of football, having been a player, having that was your career, I think that it helps the game, having someone who's got knowledge of the game, especially if they have experience in countries that are more developed in their football.
You'll have a better vision.
Yeah.
Like, now, let me ask: you've got a place like, St. George's Park, right? One of the top headquarters of football
Sports facilities.
in the world, right? The English FA is not run by former players.
Yeah. But look, they've got a lot of money. And perhaps they also introduced in the 90s. You must remember, there was so much corruption in English football that the FA was created in the 90s by the clubs as a breakaway from the previous federation. So corruption kills, that's for sure. That's a point to take in.
Because I don't think here in South Africa, our leadership problem, it's solely based on lack of vision. I think it's a matter of money get swindled in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's an issue.
But also because
we'd agree on that.
Again,
I think they've got great ideas for football, but they're also greedy.
the other thing as well is, unfortunately, an organization like SAFA is only accountable in the bigger scheme of things to CAF and FIFA. You can't have the Department of Sports going there to Mabambe. It's not going to happen.
Gaten McKenzie not going to come in there.
You know, FIFA are going to ban us. We know what happened to Zimbabwe. They tried to clean, and FIFA was like, you don't do this. So the corrupt, and I'm not saying SAFA is corrupt. I'm just talking about world football
What are
and
you
politics. Yes.
We're just using SAFA as a name.
Yes.
That is closer to home.
Say it with your
This is
chest.
not about. This is
Say
no.
it with your
no,
chest.
no, maybe we need to put a disclaimer. This is not about SAFA. This is about football administration.
Wow, you guys.
The football association.
Yes,
Let's just say
let's
the
leave it
football
there.
association.
Yeah.
The football association is accountable to FIFA. FIFA, which is corrupt, of course, are gonna work with the football association, and the football association probably sees and says, No, man, Kanti, this is how things are done. Even us, we want to do it like that.
Yep.
And it's
And so on.
monkey see, monkey do. Your child sees
Are
as
you
a
calling them
parent.
monkeys? It's a joke. Whatever.
Okay, let's move on. There was another quarterfinal MTN8 fixture this weekend.
Even forgot about that. Still,
I
well
didn't
done.
forget. I didn't
No,
forget.
well
Well,
done.
That's
what
all
a
I
game.
wanted
I actually watched that game, you know. And
you did?
Yeah, I did. And I mean, Stellies was 1-0 down and they came back to win that game 3-1. And keeping, I think one thing that we have to commend Stellies for, it's managing to keep away the vultures from their
Getting the young
from their
talent.
talent. Because
Yeah.
the likes of Titus is still there.
The young.
Yes, Reynas is still there, and you could see the importance of those players in that team, you know. And I think Stellies this season are still gonna be a force. And big ups to them. What a game! They came back from 1-0 down, and they went on to win the game.
I think
Why was the headline-
that
yeah.
first goal was against the run of play anyway. I think that Stellies were dominant. They conceded off against the run of play. They did concede more opportunities in the game. I think once again, first game of the season, everyone looked a bit rusty. There were opportunities missed for both sides.
But that was not the only rusty thing, because I feel like the match happened, but the conversation was around the pitch. I'm not sure what the pitch was like, you guys.
It was awful.
Was it horrendous?
The pitch looked awful. And
is
look, there's
awful.
been a lot of rain in the Cape. There's been a lot of rain.
What was it like, you guys? Like,
No, it was muddy. It was bumpy. It was awful. The pitch
because
was
I saw the coach of
terrible.
TS complain.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah,
Rightfully so. I mean, the pitch was
rightfully so,
terrible.
but I think also he needs to, and I'm not saying he needs to be stopped, right? But I feel like there's a level of disrespect. You can still put your point across and be heard and respect. You know, we're still a professional football league, and he has to respect that. There's a term for it. It's not coming. There's a way of addressing issues, man. There's a term I'm looking for, but it's not coming. But I just feel like
It's not tactful.
no, not that, man. There's decorum.
Cress.
You know what? Saka,
School, friend, these are good bundles.
Bantu education
fine,
anyway.
yes.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like he went to town with it, but unnecessarily so. He could have made a point, and then his point would have been heard. But now his point get lost in the fact that it sounds like it's a rant.
But maybe he's frustrated. Guys, did you hear? So I read this, ne? They say that TS Galaxy will not be cleared by FIFA after a transfer ban, a ban for the next 3 windows was imposed on them for owing salaries of 1.8 million to Ivorian player Bernard Yao Kosi. They come to this game without their players as they're not allowed to register them yet. The visitors only had 5 players on the bench compared to Staley's 9. Did you know that?
Transfer bans are a trend.
Did you hear?
In
Did
this
you
country.
know that
No, about the
Staley's
transfer space.
TS has a ban?
Yeah, I'm
I
aware
did
of
not
that.
know about it.
Even Real M still has the ban, eh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Real
they haven't
will
been
know.
able to overturn them.
I think Richards Bay is out of it.
I'm not sure about Richards Bay.
Richards Bay had it. There were quite a number of teams in the league.
Because of financial misdealings.
1.8
Not
million.
paying. It's
Not
yeah,
paying.
Not paying salaries.
not paying salaries and.
Yeah.
and
What
it's
about
just-
Swallows? Oh,
No. They also got over this. Super
Who's
Sub,
that?
some team that used to exist. You mentioned something with regards to Stellies and about them being able to keep their players. One thing that I picked up, and obviously numbers get thrown around, and we don't know if it's the right numbers or not.
Yeah.
Whoever was in charge of the transfers at Stellies did not mince their numbers when they evaluated the players.
Okay.
So if you wanted Reynas, they tell you straight up, like, okay, cool, 35. Bar.
Which is good to keep the vultures away, because
'Cause
the
they don't even
vultures,
need the money, do
vultures
they?
also want easy meals, right? You know, so it's good for them, and that's what I'm saying. Big ups to them for doing their business the way they did. You know, because if it's worth that much, then he's worth that much. We could see what he has done that season, the previous season. But for them to be able to say this is what we're gonna stick to and not get carried away with some zeros, that's beautiful.
who's responsible for maintaining the pitch? It's not the PSL, right?
No,
No,
it's
no,
the
no, it's
stadium
the
manager.
stadium.
of
Stadium
the
management.
team.
Yeah,
Well,
but they
A
hosted
lot of team
Stellies.
lease stadium from stadium management.
Stellies is a rugby town.
Yes. And that pitch probably got battered
Yes.
by Varsity Cup.
Yes, they say that there was the Under-20 World Cup, which was played between the 29th of June until the 19th of July.
Yeah, it's
So there was
a
a
tough
total
one
of like 9
because-
matches that were played on that pitch.
because it's also difficult. I'm coming back to your point, Len, that it's so difficult to keep these stadiums in
Tip-top shape.
top shape because it requires money. So what stadium management do is include other sporting codes there, events as well. I mean, I looked at the other side of Orlando Stadium. It also was not looking great
Oh yeah, by the goals, ne?
by the goals because it's probably where
Staging.
stage was erected when they had the rallies.
The other thing with that,
I wouldn't want to be a groundsman.
oh, and for
here.
the record, stadium management has a certain number of stadiums within the scope of the country. So it's FNB, Dobsonville,
And
Orlando
Orlando.
Stadium. I think there's one more. I just don't remember. And other stadiums are pretty
Municipalities.
much municipalities. But there is, if it's a Loftus or a Cape Town Stadium, for instance, which is leased to the Stormers or Cape Town City or whichever, the maintenance of that stadium is primarily up to the people that lease that stadium to use it.
Okay, makes sense.
So if it's a Stelly Stadium and it's your backyard, where did Siad really say not even cows were gonna be able to play there?
bro,
That's what I mean. Like
Bro.
Anyway,
no.
where cows
Like-
can't even play.
bro.
Again, he's what citizen is he?
But these cows managed to
Is
play.
he's European?
Yeah, well, they didn't come all right. So what I'm saying is, it's not easy. It's not cheap. That's why
I suppose.
you get some municipalities having deals with like a Kaizer Chiefs to have 3 home stadiums, for instance,
Yeah.
so that
They can
football is
bear.
hardly ever played. What's the black and white stadium? In
Mbombela.
Mpumalanga, in Bombela.
Yeah.
But you know, if you've got 3 Kaizer Chiefs games there this season, at least the economy around can buzz. In all the municipality has to do is be like, okay, cool. We'll rock you for accommodation and all the logistics, whatever. Which is why Durban most likely wins every bid to host a final.
Yeah, because they throw in money.
They throw in money at the situation, and that money helps them. Lusa Pongos is saying he's German, so maybe Germans just say things the way they.
Who's German?
Sia Dramovic.
Siad can't be
He's
German.
not German.
Is he not German?
He's like he's like
Is he
Scandinavian. He's Scandinavian.
something like I don't think he's German. I could
Probably
check.
Serbian.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised. 'cause
Yeah, he's not
Who was
German.
it? Siad who played for Arsenal?
Kolasinac.
He was from.
Masliach
Seeds
sounds.
Kolasinac was.
We took him.
He came from
Stuttgart.
German league.
Yeah, we took him from Stuttgart.
I'll try to remember, but yeah, probably Serbian. Or we could
But I know one team that doesn't compromise, Len, with their home games.
It's Orlando Pirates. Yes,
They don't play around.
No, they play all their games at Orlando. He's Bosnian. Sia Dramovic does. That's it.
That's Scandinavia, right,
Yes.
Marco?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Scandinavia is
It's not-
Sweden, Finland,
Up
Norway,
there, yeah, it's up there.
But isn't Bosnia Eastern Europe?
Eastern Bloc. Yeah.
Yes, it's in the East. Yes. So perhaps it's how they express themselves that side. And do you know sometimes, like
But
for
I
me,
understand the
When you win, he
confusion
doesn't
of-
speak like that.
I understand the confusion of. Hi man, it says here that the place of birth for this guy is West Germany.
Oh, okay.
his nationality is Bosnian. So what I'm just trying to say is perhaps he thinks,
Shidima.
Yes, it's giving cheeky.
perhaps like I'd make an example, for instance, like me, right?
You were born in.
Well, are you also?
No, when I speak, I'm Soto.
In the 70s, that's when
Yes.
that's where he was born.
I'm Soto,
When
right?
they were
70s,
only
Marco,
four-
you are a nice person.
There
I'm
was Bantu
Sotho.
stance. Yes, friend.
Yeah, I'm Soto. But for me to speak Sesotho, I have to think in English first and then translate in my head.
It just happened now with me. I had to speak my language and translate to English, and it couldn't come. Hey, it's
So
tough.
maybe that's how Sia Dramovic is. He
has to find the right
yeah,
words
Yeah, he
sometimes.
thinks in
Struggles.
Bosnian
Yeah.
And then translates
to
directly.
English.
Yeah, I suppose it's not a big deal. I just like, you know what, sometimes when you go out there and have that, I think, for a lack of a better word, condescending tone.
Is that the word you were looking for?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But that was a nice word as well.
You know, you tend to, your point tend to be missed because of that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Fair point.
Okay. I think we've strayed away from Stellies. They're going to butter up the league a little bit. Top 3 contender. I saw it in the comments here.
butter
I
up.
mean, you're not going to take that away from them, right?
Yeah, they
I
might
think
even
it
make
was,
top 2.
Yeah.
They were very close to top
Lusapo Ngozi saying Stellies is growing into a top 3 side. Last season, top 3 side.
Facts.
We could see consistency and they could be a top 3 side.
And for outside of from knockout football perspective, outside of Orlando Pirates domestically, they were the second best team.
They were the second most successful team in cup competition last season. Am I correct? Because it was the Black Label knockouts.
They won.
They won that. They were in the final of the.
No, the semi-finals of the Nedbank.
Of the Nedbank.
They were in the semi-finals of the Nedbank. They're now in the semi-finals of the MTN 8, and they were in the final of the Carling Knockout Cup. But that was of the Carling Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but
that
that
one,
was
because
always
of
Yes.
winning the Knockout Cup. So yeah, surely second best set of results there in cup competition last season, just after Orlando Pirates, who are the kings of cup competition. They have won 3 of the last 4 MTN 8s. They're the first team to ever do it in that level of regularity. The last team to do it at any level of regularity was Kaizer Chiefs in the late 90s, early 2000s. So Orlando Pirates really showing their strength in cup competition. And as a Pirates fan, you're going to be desperate to see them translate that into some sort of league consistency, right?
Yeah.
Or
I'm
on the
excited.
African continent.
I'm excited to see what Stellies is going to do in continental football. They're doing Confed. So I want to see how they're going to be able to manage domestic cups, the DSTV, Betway Premiership. What?
Hey.
What's this? As well
You're in
as
the
going
wrong
into
era.
Confed. That's going to be a test for them.
And Africa is not for the weak, eh?
But Steve Barker's
Yeah,
got
no, it's not for small
experience.
boys.
We'll see.
No, look, he's got the players, he's got the know-how.
It's just
They can charter. Let's put it that way.
if they've got the budgets to charter, then that helps a lot. We've spoken about this.
They can charter. We are drinking enough wine
And Savan.
and savan
And many other things that we use every day in our homes.
and stock.
Everything in our homes.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Rama, friend.
Go check.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Everything in the house, including Handy Andy.
But would you say though that the investment is because Buddy invests in the club, but do you think that the other one is as invested in the club as he is in other things?
He doesn't have to show you that's his
I don't know.
invested,
Didn't he
friend.
lose a lot of money in Steinhoff shares or something as
What's
well?
Stanhoff? What are you talking about?
Good point. There's no such thing anymore.
Yeah. So for me, like it's a case of then said club would probably be playing at the Cape Town Stadium, or the said stadium would probably be renovated and
But you
be
know that
much bigger.
you know rich people make a noise and wealth is very, very silent.
So are you saying said person's friend?
You might
Is
no.
there-
We don't make a noise, my friend. We don't make a noise with such things. That's what I'm saying. But you will see.
I just think Kef is actually going to show the pedigree. It's not easy going there. The minute you are there, and the further you progress in the competition, the more you suffer domestically. Unless it's not even about the chartering, unless if you've got a bloated squad. And I think one thing that Sundowns did well, and that's why they were able to maneuver to as far as they got to, is because they had a thick enough squad.
Yeah, you need players to compete.
Everything adds up. It's that and also chartering.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to push the chartering thing, ne?
My friend,
You sound like Gavin Hunt.
Gavin had said then told us.
Yeah.
Why would you not take it from the horse's mouth?
Hey, he went further with Kaizer Chiefs when he had the opportunity to charter.
charter.
He struggled with Supersport because of that
They
same
don't
reason.
charter.
You get what I'm saying?
Does Kaizer Chiefs charter?
I won't argue with him. Kaizer Chiefs had the opportunity to charter. That's what he was
They
saying to
probably
us.
do. Yeah, he did say it was not as difficult.
It wasn't in the same extent that SuperSport United had when they competed on the continent. Before we move on to comings and goings within the Betway Premiership, MTN 8 picks. Your picks on Betway this weekend. You're playing again, you're putting money again, back on the app again. Len Moleko, Skukune United, Cape Town City.
Cape Town City. Because Kukune's got problems.
They've got new players there.
No, even outside the new players, there's word now that things are not going well with, is it Hibala?
Okay.
I heard that they want
new
to
guy,
bring their new
the German.
coach back.
Yes.
That just landed.
Yes.
We're having another Dylan K situation here.
Yes.
My goodness.
Now I heard that someone is coming back to the team. I actually read about it, guys. It's everywhere that Coach CM is going back to Skukune. That's what I read.
What I read is the German, again, perhaps it could be a German thing. Apparently, the way...
How is this a German thing?
Wait, apparently the way Hibala carries himself, there's a level of disrespect that he has.
German people are just that way. They have a certain
Germans
demeanor.
are arrogant.
I don't call it arrogance. They are
I've
just
worked with them.
stringent
I know them.
and
At the bakery,
At the bakery, bro.
they supply you with wheat and barley.
Wow. And the machinery to make with.
machinery to bake
that's
with,
the supply, the
which is
German
well
suppliers.
oiled.
Yes,
Okay.
you know. So
this is so tiring.
with that happening, I mean, there's a plethora of unemployed coaches that
they will dance, man.
that's the easiest one. There's Dylan K. You can be like, hey, before you leave the country, please come here.
Is
feel like
your
he
plane
needs-
booked?
Yeah, but another coach is Vuzimuzi lost his job as well, correct?
Well, it's
Vuzimuzi Vilakazi.
it's
They parted
ways.
but
You know what I mean?
He's another dance.
It was
that
an
one.
amicable parting.
He's another dance in the making, Len. That man left Golden Arrows, Chippa United, back to Richards Bay in a space of a season.
But
Come on, man.
But in all those other jobs, it's also not a case of I don't want to be co-coach, I don't want to be assistant, I want to be the head coach.
Okay. I said we're going to do the picks before the comings and goings. We've moved
Oh,
on to
sorry.
the comings and goings.
It's me. I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
Cape Town City, Tepi, darling. Cape Town City,
Cape Town
Skukune.
City.
Super sub.
Cape Town City.
Overs,
Definitely.
unders, nothing like that. Just a straight win. No win or draw.
Clean.
Clean. Cape Town City win. That was on my picks on my bet slip. That's already gone because Pirates decided they needed extra time to go through on that one. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Polokwane City.
Obvious.
What's obvious?
Sundowns.
That's a
Mamelodi Sundowns to win.
Because you want to beat them in the final.
They're easier for us to beat in the final.
But lightning doesn't strike 3 times in one place.
I did with Sundowns.
Okay.
3 times.
It was twice, wasn't it?
3 times, my friend. Go check.
But, well, you'll have your wish because they're going to win this weekend.
Semifinals, MTN 8.
No, I agree. Like
Listen,
places are not the
it's
same.
3
Semi-final is not a final.
It is 2-leg. You've got 2 opportunities to do something, and then you
really-
couldn't do anything.
You're really driving this narrative, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, but I've got stats to back it up. We won against Mamelodi Sundowns in the final of Nedbank Cup. That is the latest. We won in the final of MTN 8, and then we knocked them out in the semis of the
you know
MTN
what?
8.
Bolas, you can't see Super Sub, but it doesn't help that Super Sub is wearing an Orlando Pirates jersey and Len Muleko is wearing a Mamelodi Sundowns jersey.
It was a
It's
coincidence.
war.
Like, it's
It was
war.
a coincidence, this.
I'm going Mamelodi Sundowns
Yeah.
and 2.5 over. There's been a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Both fixtures were 3-1
Yeah.
in the previous round of games. I think that Sundowns will win this and there will be goals in it.
Goals, yes, but remember, a lot of the teams are still rusty.
But a 2-1 is...
So what was the purpose of the preseason Tontoni if they're still rusty?
I think the preseason's been a bit short for all of them. This is like almost still part of preseason. It's too early to come back.
Preseason, you know what preseason is?
No, I disagree with you, Marco.
Guys, I'm just asking.
It's the 5th. Last year, the league even started early. EPL started early, if you remember.
But last season was a longer season because of AFCON again.
So
It was a lot more games
I
in the
think
legs
there's
of a
just
lot of players.
games that
There's
the
a lot
players
of
are
games.
playing.
Yeah.
But we're starting at the right time.
I think it could have
In
been a
September,
week
well,
later.
that's the league that starts. MTN 8, like I said, the teams are still rusty. There's not a lot that you can read from.
But at least
big
everyone's rusty.
beating an under-16 Sevilla team or playing against undercooked Al Hilal. You can't read too much into those things.
I'm glad you saved it there at the end.
I'd rather have that than losing to 4-0 to other teams in preseason.
I don't whatever. I don't want to do this. Let's move
What
on.
are you talking about?
I'm done.
It depends on where you look at it.
Yo, is it a car? Is it a plane?
Okay.
What is it?
Tsepi, darling, where do you get your information, by the way? Last week you're talking about changing currents in Richards Bay and you're talking about this one and that one. How do you know?
What, friend? Like,
No one knew Skakune was going to change managers, and now it's all the rumors. No one knew Richards Bay was having changes, and now it's all the rumors.
yes, guys, I have reliable sources, okay? So, like, yeah.
Tsepi.
Reliable
Some have
sources, my
scorpions.
friend.
Are yours called crabs?
Are they itchy also? Shut up.
Yo,
Let's move on.
it's a family show, guys, please.
Wow, lad.
So,
What did I do?
in terms of, okay, besides the teams that are banned from making transfers, who's short? We saw Chiefs have got into the market. Who's short? Who's still
Sereno
short on
was
the...
a good signing for
Yeah.
them. Yep.
Is he gonna dolly there? Is he gonna billiard there?
Billiard is at the top is going to be like he's making history there in Zone. That's so nice of him.
There's also that
Congratulations to him.
curse.
Yeah, but this is a very valid question, Tsepi. Is he gonna Mpela there?
There's a curse that happens with people crossing the Yaske.
Yeah. But we've seen it.
And you're going south, not going north.
Yeah.
It's not sunny there.
We can even take it back to the other guys. The short guy. Well, he tried Torrealba.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
We could argue Josta also tried.
Just as a legend. Just I think out
But he...
Is he though?
out of all the
Yaske crossers.
I think he's the longest that stayed at Chiefs.
Okay. But is he a legend though?
But
He's a legend of the game.
We had this discussion last week.
Okay, shut.
He's definitely the legend of the game.
But Josta was blocked from moving to Europe.
Was he?
Was he? What?
He hinted at it.
Did he?
So when he went to Europe, I think it was Denmark, if I'm not mistaken.
He did go overseas.
Or was
for
it?
Yeah, he
Norway.
played in Denmark.
Did he move from Vets to Denmark or from
Yes.
Sundowns to Denmark?
Vets Denmark, then Denmark back to Sundance.
Let's see.
And then Sundowns Chiefs.
And then Sundance.
Then the
Chiefs.
dropping happened at Vets because that's where he was moving to Denmark. Yes.
Okay. Moving on. So, any other changes we're seeing, Tsepi, you
Did
in
we
the
finish?
loop?
Did we finish about the curse? We're done with the curse.
The curse of
the Yaske.
of crossing the Yaske.
Yes.
Yeah, we've mentioned the bulk
Okay.
of them that. Oh wait, and you can actually see.
Oh yeah,
with-
it was Verts, AGF, my Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, Moroka Swallows.
Yes. Super Sub and Tepi and Marco. You can actually see the curse and how it works. It's a spell that probably needs to be reversed
Okay.
because the ones that move from that side to that side
Yeah.
actually
Okay.
are cool.
They fly, yeah.
Brian did well.
Yeah.
Who else moved from that side to that side? That springs to mind. And there's not been many.
There hasn't been many. Trying to think.
What about the cheese boy? Oh no, it was the
No,
other one.
it was
sorry,
Cheese
it
Boy
was the
was
other
Pirates.
one. Sorry.
Ryan Valoy is the one. Yeah, he's just.
That's the one that comes to mind. The ballers can tell us on
It's
the
very
comments.
seldom that it happens.
Which of the which players moved from
Jewel Fire. Where did he start? Did he? Yeah.
you see those ones in the 80s don't count man. There because it was horse trading there.
Sifasong.
Yeah, it was horse trading there.
Let's
Paulus,
move on.
let us know if anything else comes to mind on that
And
one.
Linda Butelezi as well. Where did he start? I can't remember.
I think he started at Chiefs to go to Sundowns.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we were talking about movements. You asked us about other movements.
Yeah. First of all, do we know what's coming? Is there anything you can say, Tsepi? You got scoops. Are you allowed to say something?
Yeah, I know, friend. I'm just saying.
Next week. Okay, we'll know next
No,
week.
I know for a fact that
Where-
something right now, it was meant to happen already, but it's going to only be
Okay,
announced
where
by
are we
the
watching?
weekend. in the Premiership. You'll see, like, you'll be like, oh, what?
Where-
That it's gonna
where-
happen.
where we
I can't
watching?
say, friend. I can't. But
Super
something
sub.
amazing is gonna happen
Yebo.
I'm completing
with the coaches.
The bowlers are actually helping with our cross
Discussion.
Yaske starting 11. We forgot Josh Lebese and Josh
Lebese.
Malone.
The more recent one, I'm even going back to your Linda Butelis. I'm forgetting about the most recent ones. Oh man.
So it's genuinely just not a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, George went to. Oh no, those are the ones that.
They went from
They went-
they went up.
Yeah,
they
went
didn't come down.
They went south to north.
Yes.
They are the ones that we can add with the ones that really did not do well when they crossed the Yaske to go north.
Yes.
Versus the ones that go south.
They go,
Yes, I
that's what I'm
almost
saying.
confused
It's
myself.
the other
Yes.
side, yes.
Okay.
Moyo, congratulations to him. He's going there somewhere. And congratulations to Cape Town City because they're making a nice buck. About 20 million.
Algeria, yeah, Kanyisomayo.
Mayo, yes.
Kanyisomayo, yeah.
The son of
Of who?
Yo, the legend, the man that
Mayonnaise.
played as a striker and have a stellar career and went to be a defender and did well.
yeah. So big
Patrick Mayo.
Yeah, big ups to him. So yeah, that's the movement.
You know what I like about being under Cape Town City? Comatis has done wonders for people's careers. Comatis is the chairman of, or the owner, or the founder of Cape Town City, correct? That's when they split again. It was Spurs.
Or the buyer of Cape Town.
Or the buyer.
City.
You remember there was
No,
a whole
he's the
thing.
chairman, he's the chairman,
He
he's
is,
the
right?
chairman, yes.
He's done wonders for people's careers with Comatis. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he's a very level-headed.
He's a businessman.
You know.
Yeah, I
You'd
like
put
that
him-
about
You'd
him.
put him along the likes of Stan Matthews in terms of managing and running the club.
Yeah.
The likes of the chairman of Orlando Pirates,
course.
Dr. Evan Kosa. The likes of Khopi Motsepe. He's still at the helm, as far as I know.
Who else?
Yeah.
Manto? Me Manto.
Yeah, Memato.
Mato, yes.
Golden Arrows has been very consistent for some time.
Velile. What's his name?
Who?
The chairman for Golden Arrows.
I just know the owner.
What's his name?
I forgot the name of the
Okay.
chairman. And Amazulu as well, well run.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite a number of clubs in the Betway Premiership that are looked after very well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in terms of players leaving for pastures anew, we've saw
Hi man, why am I confusing myself? Mm-hmm.
Chandra
Chandra
Campbell
Campbell.
going to Belgium. We now see Mayo going to Algeria. Sundowns must be feeling better and better that they've still got Mudau, they've still got Mokwena. Those players were attracting interest all over Europe.
Would that then be the same
helps
case
when you pay
of,
well, eh?
Stellenbosch?
There's also that.
When you pay well, you can shake off the vultures.
Hence the other team.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And also it's a case of, I mean, if sometimes this is probably what we don't look at, and I think I've mentioned this is in one of the previous pods. If I'm getting paid half a bar a month,
Yeah.
I'm playing for Sundowns,
You're going to win things.
I'm gonna win things, and
You're
there's
gonna buy us bottles.
and there's winning bonuses.
I was about to say that there's insane bonuses.
Yes, all right. Because if you win 70 million, you share it.
You
amongst
share it.
So
peers.
that it's even difficult for European clubs to
Yeah, no.
improve on those offers.
No, Sundance guys,
then-
you can't mess around with Sundance.
And then Brighton come and they say, no, with what we're gonna pay you, it's gonna be equivalent of 300,000 South African rands. Which offer are you gonna go with?
and
Unless you want to play in the Premier League or something. But even still, it's hard for those clubs to take these players still because South Africa's position in the FIFA rankings.
oh well, there's that as well.
I think Mokwena, one of his, Tebogo Mokwena and Mudau, their age is against them in terms of the visa application.
Oh, for
Even though they're still young enough
exception
to...
talent.
Yes.
What talent? There's a term
Yeah,
for
exceptional talent
Exceptional
or
talent. Yeah, something
whatever.
of
So
that
where you
nature.
can get a visa to play in the league in England at a younger age when you've played a certain number of games for the senior national team at a certain level as well. But so AFCON helped. The Bafana's improved
World Cup qualifications.
FIFA rankings has helped.
Performances.
Is
yeah.
the AFCON one? It's a CAF one that is not moving. We are hell bent on that number 10, eh?
Yeah, we need to beat the guys above us.
So there's a
Or
few
they
of
need to
those
lose.
things. And then also
Also true.
a player like Tebogo Mokoena, if he wants to play in England, maybe they might say to him, you have to come sign for Brighton and then go on loan elsewhere in Europe to get your work permit for a season and then come back, which is what happened with Percy Tau.
Yeah.
When he went to Brighton, he had to go to Belgium for a season for his work visa to be approved. Then he played 2-3 fixtures for Brighton, something like that.
And then it
in
didn't
England,
work out.
and then it didn't work out. And he had to
No,
go elsewhere.
Lissandro Trossard happened.
Yeah. So anyway,
But he
But
Sundowns feeling good to still have those players, of course.
yeah, no, look, man, Marco, I think Sundowns have changed the landscape when it comes to South African football. You know, they made it cool for players to actually play locally. You know, those guys are actually earning big, and also they get to perform in the world stages. You know, I mean, they're going to AFL. You know, I mean, Club World Cup. You know, you participating in all these competitions that everybody is watching across the globe. I mean, why would
things
you
are
not
good in
want to?
Kempton Park.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be a Mamelodi player?
he will claim it.
I want.
He will claim it. It's fine.
Len.
Stone throw.
It's what I had you.
But we'll see. We will see. The transfer window is still open. I think that's a little wrap. We've gone over our time for Betway Premiership action and
Guming, there's a
and
lot.
PSL football in general. Tsepi, darling, are you ready for us? It's time to go around the world with Tsepi Worldwide, brought to you by Betway. Get way more and enjoy the Aviator game. Play the Aviator game and you can be like one of those lucky new millionaires where we saw those 5 rand bets getting people 5 different winners of that. Remember that one weekend, Super Sub? 5 millionaires made from 5 rand bets in a single weekend.
Hey, I started
Unbelievable. So
flying
you
that
could be-
weekend.
Oh, yes. So you got your license.
Thank you, Tsepi.
He got his wings.
Some drama happened in France. You would recall that they were playing up against Argentina. They are arch rivals now, and it was quite hostile at the quarterfinals. Players and coaches from both sides clashed on the pitch at the end of the match as the hosts booked their last spot in the top 4. But now we know that France is actually going through to the finals. It says here that there has been recently animosity between the teams, with Argentina players filmed singing a derogatory song about France's black players in the aftermath of winning the Copa America. You would recall that happened back in July. And French fans booed the Argentine national anthem before the match at the stadium. And obviously the final whistle highlighted a lot of rivalry and tension. This is one of the beefs I never expected to see, by the way.
Thierry Henry getting
It's crazy, right?
Thierry Henry getting involved.
It's crazy.
Wow, it's crazy. Oh, because he's coaching the
He's
baby's
coaching
day.
the French Olympic side.
He's a Frenchman,
Bonini,
so
yeah.
and he's also a Frenchman. So it's we spoke about this the other day. Like I'm tired.
What, Len?
A Frenchman
your
of
words.
a
Use your
Frenchman of African descent as well.
Yeah,
Of course.
I'm tired
So
of trying to
it
justify.
hits home.
And it's in Paris, so the Argentines got a really warm reception for their songs for that one. But I think we spoke last week about
Yeah.
how unacceptable it was anyway in general.
Yeah, but that-
Enzo Fernandez coming back to Chelsea and then he's donating money to say sorry, and they had to make a whole big statement that the whole team forgives him, and etc. etc. etc.
look.
So
I was not
anyway.
expecting this beef though. Like it's just
But
just
guys,
continuing.
who
It's so
was
silly.
watching
I
the
just have
Olympics?
one
I'm not
question
watching
to
the
ask
Olympics
you.
anyway, really. Yeah.
Do you think African football fans are the most peaceful?
We actually
I
are.
think so.
We are very really decorum.
We are
South Africa in particular is actually quite peaceful from a football
I think that's the term I
standpoint.
was looking for.
Decorum.
That says 30 minutes later.
My man,
Pentium 1.
about
Can you
education,
take them
Chief.
too?
I think yes, we are.
Yeah.
It gets a bit. I wouldn't even want to say it gets rowdy as you go north, because I mean the North Gods were here for, was it the Champions League, for the return leg against Sundowns,
Yeah.
and they just filled the streets of Hatfield singing, wearing their red, and like just
And we
happy
mingle
to
with
be
everyone.
here, right? If you go, yes, some African fans are naughty.
Yeah.
They will set off those
Yes.
smoke
Those
watts,
lasers
and they'll have lasers.
But that's everywhere.
right. But outside of that, racial attacks and
And
Xenophobia.
you support this team, I support that team. I'm gonna treat you violently.
yeah,
Like
banter.
you walk around the wrong side of Glasgow with a Celtic shirt on, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, actually, an incident occurred on Saturday where I was seated. It was obviously on the western side where I was seated. It's predominantly Pirates fans, and there was one Kaizer Chiefs fan within the group. And when SuperSport was attacking, he was getting too excited. He was literally thrown out. You know, so
to avoid.
he was asked, please leave.
But on the same note,
Because you're an antagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the same note, we know that probably in world football, I stand to be corrected. There's only one derby where the fans of the teams playing are actually allowed to mix.
Yeah.
Only one derby in the world.
And it's recent. But back in your days, Len, it was not like that. You'll remember.
Back in your days, Prof.
But it was
No, I'm
not-
just saying.
Yeah,
It was like
I
that.
get you. I get you.
Okay, Tepi, darling, where are we off to next?
That's so funny. Okay, so from France, we are moving over to Spain, Ibiza to be precise. It says here that activists broke into Messi's Ibiza villa at the start of the week and painted the property red and black while sharing photos of the acts on vandalism on social media. In several of the posts, two members of the group can be seen holding up a banner that says, "Help the planet, eat the rich, abolish the police," in an attempt to denounce government's policies that they believe to be aggravating the climate crisis. So these people are obviously pro-Earth, pro-Mother Earth, pro-ecology and conservation, and they went to Messi's home. I just want to read this. It says here, "We tinted Messi's illegal mansion in Ibiza. The mansion is an illegal construction that the footballer acquired for the exorbitant sum of 11 million euros. While this is happening in the Balearic Islands alone, between 2 and 4 people have died as a direct consequence of the heat wave. The richest 1% of the population responsible for the same amount of carbon emissions as the poorest third world country." So basically, these people went into Messi's home and decided to just mess it up,
Climate activists.
because they're saying that they are doing this for the rest of us and Mother Earth.
Look, we put plastic with plastic, or we avoid plastic, glass with glass, paper with paper.
We recycle.
So now I must not drive to my cheating girlfriend in Pretoria because there's CO2 emissions from
No,
my
you need
car.
to ride a bicycle.
Oh, get an electric car.
How much is that?
How
by
much
the
is an
way?
EQ, bro?
And also,
And
electric
also-
car, what is it doing
Oh,
to
an
DR
EV
Congo?
rather. An EV. And
What
to
does
produce.
it do? What does it do to DR Congo?
Yeah,
and
they're
its
probably
people?
going to come spray paint your Tesla anyway because
They're
of,
like,
Yes.
because of lithium mines.
Yes,
There
to
we go.
produce the batteries that run
Yes.
EVs is probably also a big contributor
it's
of.
detrimental
So,
to the environment.
like I said, I do my bit.
Hey, climate activists, they are a lot. They
Yeah.
get involved when it's Formula One. They get involved with footballers
In
because they've got
arts.
money, etc., etc. Come
But
on.
in fairness, they do have a point. If I was one of them, I would be like, I would go complain to FIFA, complain to the majority of the leagues around the world and say, guys, you realize because you travel so frequently and you travel via
Charter.
via planes, the amount of gas that you burn, and you are so close to the ozone layer there. So you are close to ruining the passageway to ruin the climate. Is there a way you can minimize or just try other means of traveling? If I was them, but I'm not.
Okay, Tepi, where are we off to next, darling?
Yeah, no, that's all I have for you. It's been quite dry when it comes to football because obviously of the sports that's happening in. By the way, guys, may I just ask? I'm sure we have been sort of checking out the Olympics. What are your thoughts thus far?
No one cares. Those are my thoughts. Everyone knows my thoughts on the
yes,
Olympics.
yes.
Who cares who's watching it? I spoke about
I love
it this week.
Noah.
I
spoke
don't
about-
like him. I don't like his energy.
I like his arrogance.
He gives off like he's not Usain Bolt. He must
Well-
do
Oh,
what
no.
Usain did.
There's only one Usain Bolt.
Yes.
Well done, Tanya, with the gold.
But I said
Always
that last
proud
week and you guys
when-
were like,
Yeah, but that's one thing. It's the
Okay.
Olympics. I've said it here before. I said it yesterday. I think there's some cool memes. I think there's cool discussions around the women in sports
But
who
that lady
are
that got hit
intersex
in
or
the nose.
DSD
Yeah.
or whatever. I think that's an important conversation, etc.
pole
But
vault
my
as well was
question
cool.
is, as cool as it is with that Turkish guy who was shooting and it was a cool photo, who was watching the shooting to have seen that in the first place? That's my question.
The guy who likes shooting.
Please.
Americans.
I don't know.
Probably most of them.
Yeah.
But wasn't it the Turkian who...
He was
Why
Turkish.
didn't the
Turkey,
he was
sorry.
Turkish, the guy who got the silver medal. But how did America not win in shooting? They've got more guns than people.
Because they shoot randomly.
They like moving targets.
There was
You
no
know what I'm
school
saying?
there.
Oh,
That
never
joke
mind.
was dark.
Yeah.
It was so dark. American
But
police are going to
Olympics
shoot it.
football, semi-finals, United States won 1-0 versus Germany. I think this is the women's one.
The ladies, yes.
Yeah, the ladies.
US is
and,
going to play Brazil in the final.
It's 2-0 to Brazil now.
Oh, nice.
It's a break.
Yes.
Okay.
US is going to play Brazil in the final.
Yeah. So it's still 2-0. So
When
you're
is the
saying
final? Friday.
you still Spain won't do anything.
Nah. Brazil is going to go to the final.
Spain play France on Friday in the men's Olympic final.
Yep.
And then Morocco.
That
are
game
in the
was actually
third
very interesting,
place
eh?
playoff with
Between
who?
Spain and Egypt. I don't
know.
know if you checked
I
it
saw
out.
Egypt
I
is,
couldn't- I
I
couldn't
think
check it out.
Egypt
Oh,
is
so it's
out. So
Morocco's out.
Egypt is also out.
But that's for bronze now. Morocco will play Egypt for bronze, I
So
think.
it's an all-African
Bronze.
Let's fight for bronze.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's all we have for you worldwide.
Well, there you go, and that's the Olympics in a nutshell.
You are so
That
disinterested.
was I don't like the Olympics. I said it long ago. I don't
Yeah.
like the Olympics. Those guys know how to waste money and squander money
time.
and not give it to the right people. It reminds me of college sports in America where they can't pay the athletes because it's unethical, but they're busy making money on the side.
The
Dodgy.
NCAA.
All of them.
college basketball,
College basketball,
football.
college football,
The
college.
other lady was saying that
even
her
college
rent was
soccer.
not paid for her accommodation, but she's at the Olympics right now. 75%.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
You gotta,
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
you gotta hate preseason, right? It literally puts onside people right in the middle of the Parc de Princess.
What?
Penagant.
We are in deep in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's all we have from you
Help Tippy
from
there.
around the world in Tippy Worldwide, brought to you by Betway Get Way More and the Aviator app. Check it out, or the Aviator game in the Betway app, rather. Check out the Aviator game. You can be like one of those lucky millionaires just from a R5 bet. Moving on. England. English football.
What's happening there?
nothing.
Nothing yet. Well, Julian Alvarez is off to Spain.
Well, yeah.
I heard.
$100 million, somewhere around that region.
Crazy
72
money.
million pounds guaranteed up front, and then the rest in bonuses.
And add-ons
Add-ons.
as well.
Good deal for all parties. Manchester City paid £14 million for him just a short time ago to get him from Argentina. Was it River Plate?
Yeah, I think it
And
was
then,
the plate, yeah.
And now they're selling him for big money to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid need a top-class striker. He is a top-class striker. He's going to get more games. Good deal for everyone.
He wanted to play more. So, I mean, we've read and we've heard Pep, when you want to leave, he's not the kind of a manager that's going to stand in your way, you know, and we've heard him making comments that he wants to play more, which I don't understand. What does it mean that he wants to play more, being one of the players that played the
played a lot
most
of minutes.
minutes
But I think
in football this season?
I think that he's aware. We're all aware that he's number 2 in the lineup,
pecking order.
In the pecking order. If everybody's fit, he doesn't play. If everybody's rested and it's not rotation, he doesn't play.
Yeah, but isn't it what football is about? You play 11 and then you rotate.
Yeah.
No, I want to play. You can't buy me and promise me the world and the. I'm a
he's
World Cup winner.
He doesn't want to be a side chick. He wants to be the main.
Let's go see on the
Simple.
other side.
But also, I suppose the deal works for City because it also helps them balance the books.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I guess.
The charges will be less.
what's interesting about City, how good
Why
are
was
City?
it not resolved? When is this whole charges situation going to get resolved, by
Not
the way?
in- soon.
Their lawyers are good. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about
But
it.
I mean, I was thinking before the... Okay.
The only one that's resolved is I heard an interesting story that City were fined something, I think, in the tune of 11 million pounds. for delayed kickoffs.
Oh, yes. For coming out of the tunnels
For
later
coming-
for second half.
yes.
Because Pep sits and talks.
Yes. At least that one they were found guilty.
How many are remaining now?
No, they don't form part of the 150.
There's still 115
There's still
remaining.
150.
Oh,
That
those are
was the
still there.
116th
yes,
one.
it was 116th one.
Separate charge.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Different court, everything.
Wow. Okay.
Different charge sheet and police station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's that line over there for that four. You just go to that one. How good are City that when a player leaves because they're not priority there, it turns out they're the greatest? Cole Palmer, prime example. Leaves City because surplus to requirements in a way. We don't want to stand in your way. You want to go be the main man somewhere else. And they go become the main man somewhere else. And you look at that transfer figure, Julian Alvarez, we expect him to go do well.
Yeah, no, definitely. But
Is it the
Palmer,
pressure
I
there?
understood, Marco. Alvarez, he played.
Yeah.
He played more than Palmer. But
And Palmer's a
just
Man
goes to show
United
you-
fan as well, sir.
But I still say, and I might seem like I'm literally reeling you in, and I'm not. When the big money came and you're City and FFP is facing a lot of people, even Chelsea are selling players. Arsenal are not spending as much as one would expect them to. Newcastle the same. Crystal Palace is having a field day and now hoping that they're going to close their doors and people will start shopping. We saw what happened with Everton. We saw what happened with Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
People are trying to avoid that. And if a suitor comes in with monies that make sense for you to at least try balance your books, but still have an almost decent enough squad to compete, you're gonna take it.
Of course. It's a no-brainer. It's a business move. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
And
more.
we
It's not a footballing move because I think he's a decent player. I think if Pep wanted to, he could have convinced him to stay.
When they asked Pep last week, he said that as far as I'm concerned, he's my player.
That's what I'm saying.
And he will play.
So I agree with Dan. It could be one of those reasons where, you know what? It's big money move. It's going to help us.
That's why it's a big money move.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have gone on the cheap.
for nothing.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at it now to also loosen some money. I'll make an example with a couple of teams. Edin Ketia might be on the move along with Reece Nelson.
That'll be
Oh, yeah.
important for them and for Arsenal.
Leaving
Yes.
Because
Arsenal,
Arsenal
yeah.
have spent big money on Calafiori. They also need to get more in their side. They need to get a number 9. They
But why
need
would
to
they let-
sell
okay, but in case,
in
yeah,
order to
okay.
build the funds to go back into the market.
Chelsea, Conor Gallagher gone.
There's even the Spanish midfielder who's supposed to be coming in at Arsenal as well, and that's not going
Oh,
to be
yes.
a cheap move either.
I forgot his name. Moreno or something like that. Yes,
Something
I
like
think
that.
it's Moreno. Yeah. So if for you to get in, you need to get out, and the monies need to make sense. Man United
they're lucky they make a lot of money.
is one that two. As it
It
stands,
rains money there.
yeah, you're right.
It just pulls down through the ceiling.
Yes. At Man United, where they are right now, there's probably about, and we spoke about this, there's probably about how many players?
Sure. There's like 3 players that they won't sell.
Yes. And now it's worse because Euro is injured. Apparently,
Yeah, Lenny Yoro, 3 months. He's had a successful foot surgery, minimum of 3 months recovery.
yeah.
I saw that.
Man
Yeah.
United, I'm surprised that everyone's making such a noise about that because Lissandro Martinez is fit. Harry Maguire is fit.
Because you mentioned Harry Maguire. That's why people are making noise. Anyway,
But then he should have been sold.
no, true. But
Is this the
windows-
moment where Marco sneaked in United?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
It just
We
had
were
to
I
happen.
responded to Len. Let's be fair. Be fair when it's fair.
Okay, sorry, my friend.
Respect my name.
I was referring to United actually. So United, the Rashfords can go. Anthony should actually be put at the door with a for sign sale right now.
I saw something saying that Manchester United are making an offer to PSG of £50 million and Anthony for the Uruguayan midfielder that they want. And PSG said no to the deal. They're holding out for just the 50 million.
Wow.
Rumors of Saudi League for Anthony. which
I think
is
that will work for him.
Chelsea.
He's Brazilian. He
Chelsea-
wants money.
Chelsea did that where they needed money because they're in the financial fair play trouble, and they sold players to Saudi League because it's an easy way to get more money than
And
the
it's, yeah, good
valuation
money.
you would get from other countries. Easy way to bring in income. Surprised Casemiro's still there at Man United. He's one that you should be looking to get money from the Saudis as well. To
He's
try
made
and boost
enough
the
at
books.
Real Madrid, I suppose.
Yeah, he's
Still
And
wants to
Man
play at the
United
highest
is-
level. And he's one of the highest paid players at United.
So you need to get him off the wage group.
So,
So what-
Casemiro must
Yeah.
go.
Anthony must go.
Anthony, if a good suitor comes
You
in
don't
for
like him.
Rashford, I'm opening the door for him to leave.
Yeah.
Martial is gone, eh?
Martial is
Martial's off the
gone.
books for free. He hasn't found a new club yet.
There's
Like
big,
De Gea.
Like De Gea.
Sure.
there's big talk
Their
that
salaries are high. That's the problem. Clubs don't want to take them.
except if you're Saudi.
Give Real G saying Anthony won't leave, guys. What about Wan Bissaka saying they're saying that is Wan Bissaka is a defender, right?
Yeah,
Left
the
back.
right back. He's
Right
going to go
back,
to
not
West
left
Ham.
back, to West Ham, yeah.
Then Man United need to go into the market again. They're looking at the right
Angu.
back in Bayern Munich.
And Newcastle is interested in that. That guy was centre back for England now.
Mark Gahey.
From Crystal Palace.
Mark Gahey.
Yeah, MacG. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying Palace are looking to padlock their gates because people have not finished buying. There's still Mateta who can still be taken.
What
Is
did I
it
hear about?
and he's
And
doing
Mateta
well.
is doing well with France now in the Olympics.
Yes,
And
what
what
did
about
I hear
that
about
shit?
Napoli? They wanted to let go of Spider-Man.
Osimhen.
Yeah.
Osimhen, he wants to go.
wants to
It's
go.
agreed.
Yeah.
He's going. He will leave this transfer
He's
It's not,
window.
even, it's not even part of pre-squad, from
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
read.
Yeah.
But
a
the,
traveling
the
squad.
reason that it
pre-season
makes
squad,
sense
rather.
for Chelsea, for Osimhen, is
Mm-hmm.
because Napoli want Lukaku. Chelsea need to get Lukaku off their books
I saw that.
somehow. It's
He's
a good
one-
deal for
He's
everyone.
probably one of the longest players that has been on Chelsea's book without playing for Chelsea, eh?
Yeah, and he's
crazy.
costing them money because all of those loans don't cover his entire salary.
Yeah, because the portion of it comes from Chelsea, right?
Yeah, because no one can cover the salary.
Olmo?
Olmo,
Danny
apparently he's
Olmo,
going to
Barcelona.
I saw
Barcelona.
that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Barcelona and I remember Marco you saying that they're looking good financially. Things are not seemingly getting any better.
No. I said that they've stabilized slightly, not looking good.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing looking good in
No,
the
no,
books
no,
of
Barca in-
Barcelona.
Barcelona
They
in-
need to be very careful.
are
But
in
yes, Nico Williams is the one that they've been saying we're trying to get La Liga to approve the deal so that we can get Nico Williams. So they're looking to get that Spain dream team of Danny Olmo pairing up with
Yamal,
Our young boy,
Lamine Yamal
yes,
and
yes.
Nico Williams.
But Nico is he's an athletic boy through and through because his brother plays there with him. And
Yeah, but it's Barcelona.
word is like people are urging him not to leave. So it's like, yo, why are you leaving Bilbao? We're doing well. I think Bilbao are in the
Europa League.
Yes, in the Europa League. You playing Europa League.
Bro, it's Barca. I'm still saying.
Barcelona Champions
Oh.
League of that level.
Aisafani, it's Barcelona is not the same.
Bro, it does not matter. You've got a player like Gundogan who left Manchester City after winning a treble,
King has a very good point
wanting
here.
to
What?
play for Barca.
When Barcelona returns to Camp Nou, they'll make a lot of money and it will help them a lot. They've not done well with this stadium move.
But when are they coming back?
When is it done,
A year
actually?
and a half now.
No, it's been postponed and postponed and postponed. Number one,
they don't
number
have
two,
money.
number two. The biggest thing that is actually holding them back right now is with the deals that they were making under Laporte's advice. The TV rights money that they should have been getting in the coming number of years, they're not getting that. They're not going to get that. And I think from a football team's perspective, the TV rights money are probably your biggest revenue.
Yeah, that's how your Real Madrid make their
Makes
money.
sense.
So Barcelona are not there anymore.
May I ask about the Community Shield?
Even that Messi deal was like, the Messi deal to get him back.
Wishy-washy.
They spend a lot of money.
Again, getting rid of players to help them with situations and try to balance the books. Get rid of Pedri. Frankie de Jong, they had a chance to do it a couple of seasons ago with
Man
United.
United.
Yeah, 'cause
and
they-
he's been
Didn't happen.
injured.
Yes. Get rid of Pedri and they went to go buy Rafinha, a gamble that never paid up. Or
Because
paid off.
Rafinha is like Anthony that went to private school.
Yes.
Send him to Saudi, get some money.
That's what I'm saying. And then you've got, I don't see Yamal leaving. That's
No,
the only
no.
prize position that I think they have. But with everybody else, just try offload assets in J.
Yeah, what I meant to say earlier when I'm talking about Messi not bring him back, there was a time where they could offload him for big money, and they missed that opportunity. Remember?
Yeah, and then he went for free.
Yeah.
Just to get the salary off the books. Okay, let's move on. I think that's transfer dealings in a
Transfers.
nutshell.
Yes.
Really?
And
Guys, I was,
West Ham going in
Oh,
for
yes, the Dortmund,
the Dortmund striker. Fulcrum.
Oh yes, I can't pronounce it. Yes, yes, it's hard to
German.
pronounce it.
He was stellar in the
In
Champions
Euros?
League.
Yeah.
No, was
And
he not in
Euro.
Euros? I
Yeah,
saw him in Euros.
But
more.
Champions League,
Patches,
he
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
underperformed in Euros.
Yeah,
he
he did.
Expected
From
to,
what he showed us for Dortmund last season,
Yeah.
yeah, he was
Good
insane.
signing though. West Ham are looking good in the markets. I think Wan-Bissaka is actually a good player, and I think he'll suit the system at West Ham. I think they're doing good business, but they got big money getting the Douglas Luiz went to
Juventus.
Juve.
Yeah.
So they got some money there.
Yeah.
So they can. Oh wait, that's Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz. My apologies.
Yes, that's
Yes,
Villa.
that's Villa that got that. Sorry, West Ham. You know, it's the
The
colour of
colors.
the kit.
Yeah.
It's that burgundy and blue. But West Ham, they've still got Declan Rice money to spend. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so
They're good. They're chilling. They are cruising. Nice.
yeah, I don't expect them to qualify for Europe, but they should finish better than they did last season. They had struggles last season.
Yeah.
They should finish better than that. Aston Villa is an interesting one. They
What's
are
happening with
looking
Villa?
at Joao Felix because no one wants Joao Felix.
Which is
Joao
sad.
Felix. Barcelona is not going to hold on to him.
No, they can't afford it.
Yeah.
He's not. He didn't show enough in Barcelona for them to like now.
So he can't go back to Atletico.
Atletico Madrid don't want to keep him. They were pretty ready to ship him off as well, especially now they're spending money on Julian Alvarez.
Where would he best fit? If let's say for
Listen,
instance, I think
Aston
if,
Villa, if they can get that deal done, he'll fit very well at Aston Villa. Unai Emery's great.
Yeah.
He's Champions League football. He's a top class player.
if I'm Newcastle, flip.
Money.
If I'm Manchester United, I'd be
Newcastle has
looking at
enough
him.
problems.
Newcastle has got money problems.
got problems.
Oh, and I think their problems might actually double because now England is like looking for a new manager, and
And Unai?
how things might end up, we don't know.
Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Oh, AD, sorry. Yeah.
So
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think Eddie
But
Howe's
I mean,
gonna
why
leave
is
now.
why is it so quiet? I mean, it's been a couple of weeks now that these names have been put up and nothing has
there's
been
no
done
football.
since.
There's no football.
Yeah.
They are
Okay.
busy cooking.
They don't have games.
Oh.
But actually, if you think about it, I hear what Zepi is saying because the international break is just now.
Yeah, because it's once the league starts, I think they play 2 games.
Just bring Big Sam.
When the Betway Premiership starts, the international break would have just ended.
Yeah, I'm talking about EPL right now.
Oh, EPL is going to play 2 games. Then
That's what I'm
international
saying.
Break. Yes.
2
Oh,
games,
okay.
then
So we
international.
should be getting some response, right?
They can use
About who, how.
How you can
Oh,
use
well,
an
they
can-
interim
They're gonna use some
manager.
man in
Oh,
the
the
meantime.
assistant coach because you're not in a hurry. It's not a Nations
Yeah.
League. It's not a
friendlies,
Euro
eh?
So it's a normal
qualifier.
friendly.
It's friendlies. Yeah, use the assistant.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they're gonna-
Use anyone. Make Declan Rice manager for the day. Who cares? Doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
England. They got lots of quality there. Conor Gallagher going to Atletico Madrid. Done deal. Gonna happen in the next few
Yeah,
hours
plus
or
he
days.
he plays rock and roll as well. He's like, what do you call like this?
Chelsea getting money in. They
Yeah, I
spent big. They spent very big. We forget almost what. There's the Brighton player that they brought in.
There's Moise Caicedo.
Moses-
There's Cucurella,
Cucurella. There's
But wasn't Caicedo last
Enzo
season?
Fernandez was big money.
Jackson as well.
Yeah.
I remember Jackson also came in.
They've spent big. They need to get people off
Caicedo
the
was
books.
actually the most expensive one.
And they're lucky.
But again, what are they doing there? It looks like they don't know what they're doing, these people.
No, but it's this season is starting to look like it. They're recovering
They
money
were
nicely.
rebuilding, weren't they?
I heard an interesting comment in one of the podcasts that I listened to. I just forgot which one it is. And the way one of the gentlemen was describing Chelsea and the owners, he said, we must remember that what's happening at Chelsea now, don't be too surprised with it because the owners are venture capitalists from America, so they see their players as assets. Buying and selling them is purely for making money.
There's no emotion. There's nothing.
But they're not making lots of money now. They're spending way more than they're making.
You
They're hoping to invest in the future.
long game,
That's why they buy players and they put them on 7-year contracts and then they don't
Yes.
perform.
long
Scary.
game, long game.
Yeah, always worries me when it's not football people at a club. Anyway, I think that's a wrap on some transfer business.
Yeah.
Plastic Manchester derby this weekend.
Man United will win it again.
Who cares? Right?
I mean, sorry, they will win again against City. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, City usually don't do well in FA. Yeah,
In the community.
I'm thinking
Community,
the community.
yeah.
Shield,
Yeah, they've done well in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But
And again, it's a preseason
Is it an empty
game.
and 8 type of preseason?
Didn't they lose
not
it
like-
against Liverpool the other time?
it's a empty and 8 still
3-1.
has
It has some stature.
no Community Shield. You
think-
change the
No,
entire
they lost against
lineup
Arsenal.
of your squad at
On
halftime.
penalties,
You
beginning
can
of-
make
Oh,
11
no.
substitutions
That
like a
last
friendly
season-
game.
Oh, it's
They lost
like
it to
culling
Liverpool. I'm
something,
telling you, there's a
something.
season
Not
where they lost it to
even.
Yeah.
Liverpool. If you can go back to, sorry for having two conversations at the same time.
Yeah.
parallel.
Continue.
Yeah, no, we're just talking about how City loses the FA Community Shield.
We were talking about plastic. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Did Arsenal won Community Shield last season, right?
Yes.
Against City.
Against City.
So
That is
we're
correct.
looking at the season before that. City lost it against
Yeah.
Liverpool. That's what Super Sub is alluding to.
Right.
I can't remember.
So are we still calling it a plastic cup or is it an important cup?
It's a plastic cup.
Plastic,
Oh, it's
it's
plastic.
preseason.
You don't
Means nothing.
parade that thing.
But Ten Hag will remind everyone when he does win it how good a job he's doing.
I mean, a win is a win. Okay.
Well, anyway, good luck to the teams.
Marco Berry Studios saying the Community Shield is like the Toyota Cup. Preseason,
Is
guys.
it though?
Yeah,
It's
it's
preseason.
like winning a Tiger Cup or an Emirates Cup. It's nothing.
Hey, it's the Emirates Cup this weekend.
Yeah, Wednesday night, tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
Yes,
night
yes,
it starts.
Yes,
Yeah, Emirates Cup tomorrow night.
But we're gonna play.
That's a nice preseason tournament, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna play the Eddie Nketiahs, guys who don't regularly play, the Reece Nelsons.
Also, put them out there so that other clubs can shop.
Yes,
I
but
agree.
Saka still needs to rest because he just came back from holiday
Yeah.
and he's just trying to get back.
All the
into
England
shape.
boys won't play.
Rice.
They're all going to wait for thing. I don't think any of the England boys will play this weekend in Community Shield either, because their season went on too long.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be very weak sides. Manchester United kicking off this season like they did last in a Manchester derby in a cup final with 1 million injuries. Once again, what's going on? What's with the
Please
staff
speak
there?
life into your team. Speak life and
They've
success.
got injuries.
They must
Speak
go
life
see.
know,
into
They
them.
must go see a sangoma
Like,
somewhere.
Yeah,
speak
I
some
think so
positivity.
because there's something
Remember,
wrong
Len,
there.
by the way, we're still holding you to that. Remember, Len said that last week that actually United is going to be top of the lock, right?
Yes.
So speak life into your team.
No, but if you can see what things that have got potential, you must say them. That's why I said what I said, and that's the long and short.
Are
of
we
it.
still playing a game?
Yes, we are. Let's get into that.
It was 2022, Len.
Okay, so that's a wrap on transfer dealings, Community Shield. Not much to look
Guys, did you
forward
hear
to.
that Golden Arrows got a new sponsor, some rich oil company or something to that effect,
No, that's
petroleum.
Richards Bay.
Bay, sorry, and it's 100 million. How are we not talking about how a South African team is getting a 3-year sponsorship of 100
But
million?
then again,
Oh, that's amazing.
what did I say? There's money that is being pumped into football. If
But it's going to that team, but I
Richards
get
Bay can
you.
get 100 million, why cannot that a company out there that has money come and sponsor
The
the
interesting
VR?
bit is that company, the owner of that gas company, Petroleum, what, does he own Richards Bay or is he sponsoring the team?
I heard that he does not own the team, but now he's calling the shots because the story is that when he came in, the first thing he said was, we need to let go of the coach. And that's why Vusimuzi was let go of. But
Spill the tea, baby.
so Vusimuzi was let go of because he came in there. He's like, okay, so Mr. Moneybags, the first thing I want is for you guys to remove the coach. We want a more experienced coach. And the story is that Akere Brandon is going to be the new coach. Anyway.
Shifting
let's play a game.
tides in Richards Bay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, this is Marco's Ballon d'Or quiz. Of course, Ballon
Ballon
d'Or
d'Or.
coming in October. I have a lot to say about Ballon d'Or normally, but there have been some great players to win it in the past. This is how it's going to work. If you look up at the screen, you'll see there's a blurred out player.
Are you talking to us?
Yes, you guys. You guys all have an opportunity to answer. Either raise your hand or say who you think it is or whatever.
Just say
And
our
one of
names.
you, whoever guesses it first, gets the point.
Okay.
Going to start with an easy one. Who's the player to have won the most Ballon d'Or awards?
Tepi.
Yes, Tepi.
It's Messi.
It is Lionel Messi. That's how the game works. That's a point for Tepi.
Yay.
As easy as that.
Act like you're excited for
Okay.
me.
This player was a surprise winner of the Ballon d'Or in 2001. He is English.
Michael Owen.
Michael Owen, obviously.
That's Len
You
Moleko.
must say your name.
Okay, but
because we don't
just
know.
say it out loud.
Okay,
Get
sharp,
excited.
sharp, sharp.
Okay,
Okay.
Michael Owen. That's correct. That's a point for Len Moleko. This player is the first winner of the Ballon d'Or prize in the 1950s.
Pele, Tepi.
Not Pele.
Beckenbauer.
Isn't
He's
Maradona,
English.
Tepi.
It's not Pushkas. He's English.
George Best?
It's not George
Geoff
Best.
Hurst.
George Best is Welsh and he wasn't playing in the 50s.
I don't know who that is, Marco. Len is my savior. Yeah. He was, I think, about 10 that time.
Are we ready? Don't
he-
Google
wait,
it.
wait, wait.
Hey, are you Googling?
No.
She's always Googling that one.
Let me ask. Was he part of the 66 World Cup winning squad with England?
No.
So Alex
Is
Ferguson.
it Sir?
He's a Sir.
See, I said so. So
Is
I'm
it
close.
Bobby Charlton?
It's not Sir Bobby Charlton.
What does he look like?
Why?
In the
English.
50s?
In the 50s.
Ah, no. I don't know, Marco. Give it to us.
5, 4,
I don't
3,
know.
2, 1. Sir Stanley Matthews.
I
Okay.
wouldn't have guessed.
Sporting a Blackpool shirt there. Sir
just said
Stanley
SuperSport United.
Matthews.
Stan Matthews, yeah.
Yeah. You must give clues, Marco.
See, I asked what he looks like, but he's white.
Okay, I can't shift over to the next one because it seems to be in the wrong order because
Okay.
I see now that the next one wasn't blurred out. Okay.
But you can give clues about
yes,
what picture
yes.
it was.
I'm going
without
to
going
give clues. This player,
Yeah.
this is an easy one.
I already know the answer.
Even me.
Me too.
No, I knew it.
Did you
first.
see it already or what?
No, I didn't see it, but I know.
Okay, this is an easy one. This player went on to become a head of state.
Len.
Yes, Len.
George Weah.
George Weah, and Len wins the
How is
Ballon
that
d'Or quiz.
He's the only
the-
president
he's
to
the-
have
of
The
Won
won.
president
the
of
Ballon d'Or.
Liberia.
Okay, whatever.
He's
And
also
only
the only
African to
African
have won
player to have
Ballon
won the
d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, only African to have won Ballon d'Or.
Oh, yes, I know the guy. He even dedicated it to Mandela. Yes, he did. He dedicated his Ballon d'Or to Nelson Mandela. Yes.
Okay.
Check it.
Was
Bolas.
it him or was it Ruth Gullit who did that?
Guys, the only African that won a Ballon d'Or is the one who dedicated to Nelson Mandela. Who is it?
Okay, I know that's something that Ruth Gullit dedicated to Mandela.
I
That's
think
all
a
I'm
lot of
saying.
people dedicated
All I'm saying is
something to Mandela.
Amandla.
A Mandela, friend.
Well, congratulations. That's a wrap of the
That's it?
Marco's Ballon d'Or quiz brought to you by Betway.
Okay.
Get way more. And that's not the only thing to wrap up. It's also a wrap up of ONSIDE ZA brought to you.
Okay,
by
so it was a
Betway.
2-1.
Yeah. No, there
sweep.
were 4. But yes, 2-1 because no one got Sir
There's one
Stanley
with
Matthews.
Stan we didn't get, yeah.
But there's one that I'm sharing with Len there.
But I still get 2.
So how is it 2-1 then?
Yeah,
So it's like 1.5 and a half
2-1-1.
and a
Hey,
1.
you guys love to win these things. Congratulations, Len. By those rules, you'd be Quizmaster again next week. But we might rotate it a little bit. Anyway, that was ONSIDE ZA brought to you by Betway. Thank you so much, Danko, to the ballers. As always, you are the most important part of the show and we love interacting with you. Thank you, as always, for joining us here. Thank you to you, Mr. Professor Len Moleko.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Tepi Darling.
Thanks, Ale.
And thank you, Super Sub. And most of all, thank you
Danko.
once again to you. Remember, stay on side with us and Betway. Don't be offside. Be on side.
Danko means thank you.
Peace. Ah.
That is a slurper now.
I was slurping.